an event which is a jugalbandi of 3 organizations. We are together on this, which is Delhi Management Association, the National HRD Network, and the ICPI. So this is one of the special events that we have, which is a strange mix of, I would say, welcome. Informality on the one hand, you could see the kind of dress code that we are following, t-shirts, jeans and all of that. But on the other hand, as far as timings go, we are absolutely particular. Everything is slotted for 20 minutes. T 20 minutes, the initial intro by me and the chairperson 20 minutes, 3 speakers get 20 minutes each, and the last 20 minutes are reserved for QA. So that's the format, which some of you may be already aware and some of you may not be aware. So I acknowledge the presence of Dhananjay here from NHRDN, he's the Director General, and Rajan seems to be missing. Rajan is the Director of DMA. And then we have Rajiv Khurana there, Rakesh Seth here, Deepak Bharara here, and I am the 4th culprit who have started ICPI, but now we have many more members sitting here. So it's a pleasure being with all of you. My thanks to all of you for joining in. Now coming to the chairperson for today, it's again an honor to introduce Runa Maitra.
Hi.
I would call her Runa. Absolutely amazing professional, and she's also a very dear friend. She not only does a lot of professional activities, and you can find her in every single event. I keep on telling her that you should tag me along some places. And the best part is she does a lot of work for society pro bono also. So that is why I respect her a lot. She has told me in the afternoon not to say much about her. She feels that I should not be talking more about her achievements, and therefore I am constrained to keep it short. Right? I am following your orders, ma'am. Right? So it's an absolute delight to have Runa chairing this session. And before I hand it over to her for going on with the things, I would also certainly acknowledge our 3 speakers for the evening, Major Avtar Singh, Rajesh Diwan, and Dr. Anju Chawla. I am purposely not announcing what they will be speaking on because, as you may have seen in the invite, they are going to talk on a variety of subjects which is dear to their heart. And finally, the next event would be held on 8th of July, which happens to be ICPI's first birth anniversary. So we will be meeting here. That might be a longer session, and it will be a visioning, missioning, and re-strategizing session. So I would request all of you, those of you who are not members on the lighter side, to quickly become members of ICPI, NHRDN, and DMA, so that we can have all of you again with many more people doing some brainstorming right here in this room. It is a Saturday, so I think most of you should be able to join. So with those words, I would request Runa to take over from there. Thank you so much, Runa, for agreeing to chair this.
The reason that I know it's a very informal kind of environment, and we are here to learn. So my job is to make sure that you're introduced well. But before that, should we also share something about ICPI?
That will be wonderful.
And I'm very proud to say that I'm also ICPI member, and I took the membership. I called up Rajiv. I said, Rajiv, have I done things right? They said, absolutely fine. I online check kar diya. So, and then I of course understood the advantage that, see, we normally find that events we go, सारे events में नहीं होती हूँ, ज़्यादातर में होती हूँ, लेकिन of course we choose events to basically to understand how we're going to learn there. And I'm looking at the talk because I want to spend time more introducing them. but you also need to understand about ICPI, why we are here. Because many times you find that events normally promote the factor that if you're a corporate person, hey, you are welcome. All right, but when you find, you step onto a consulting world, you want something to do on your own, the whole world is talking about entrepreneurship. But when it talks about consulting, somewhere we are still not there and recognizing it well. So I think salute to this group that they said, hey, we will come forward, talk about consulting with that band, and you come forward, we are here for you, we will work with you, we'll make sure that not only you get a project, we facilitate you for this project, we work together. And these are 4 people who are industry stalwarts. I mean, I have immense respect and immense work I've seen in terms of many बहुत learn किया चारों से. So personally I'm speaking, so it's my journey as well and how I came onto this. And as you said, Sumit, is very important. Become a member because you get those information. Membership is not take membership because there's some format. You start getting information what I want to do and how do I go there and make sure I have access to it. So that's the reason we are talking about membership. And I guess you have some presentation you want to show that because I'm really very of time. I think I have only 10 minutes now.
Then
there's a pressure of 20 minutes.
It is available on ICPI.in. You can
if you want to know more about ICPI, please connect to all the 4 founders. And in turn, as I'm standing also here, I'm also looking at the format. So more as members, we should also be telling you how we are benefiting. Right. So let me introduce now the ladies first. Okay. So we have, we have met Dr. Anju Chawla. So let me read about her. So Dr. Anju Chawla is a doctorate in management in human resource and postgraduate in HR and marketing. She commenced her career with Jagan Institute of Management Studies, we know as GIMS, from Rohini, a business developer and climbed up the ladder to success through her association with various brand names like NIMS, IIPM, Pearl Academy, Indian Retail School of Management, ICPI, GIMS, SIU, Pune, and the part-time faculty of HR. She is an English trainer for ND and CTS batches and motivational speaker for SSP students. Vidya Kevelio is as a volunteer examiner with skills mantra for various courses trainers and course reviewer with Pearson publication for its My Lab South Asia project. She has executed a project with the Grant Thornton, the CFO, for online recording of lectures for foundation course in CS and CMA. What a variety. HR, CS, CA, skill development. She has completed a project with Shriram New Horizon under the umbrella of Shriram for training and civil service of SAARC countries in HR and OB, and under the Advanced Diploma of HR, PE and IT, and in English for Advanced Diploma in English Communication and Business Writing. Amazing combination, isn't it? So multifaceted. Wow, this is now absolutely different. Let's learn about Major Avtar Singh. So Major Avtar Singh, an Indian Army veteran, as we can purely understand, has more than 16 years of industrial and corporate leadership experience in security and asset protection, absolutely latest stuff we are going through, which includes working with Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies. He is certified protection professional, CPP, certified fraud examiner, CFE, and certified anti-terrorism specialist. In his new avatar, so Major Avtar in his new avatar, as leadership and personal development coach, he works with and helps people to bring small positive changes in their behavior that could lead to larger goals and change their identity. Major of Marshall Goals certified leadership coach, NLP master practitioner and trainer, business and life coach, member of International Coaches Federation, also a member of International IC. Super. So now we introduce. So Rajesh has 24 plus years experience. I didn't know that. You look so young. So in general management, HR in India and Middle East, sectors Rajesh represents is very interesting. That is construction, real estate, manufacturing, retail. So a major deadly combination sitting over here. So he has headed HR as Barista, CC, which is a Taiwanese construction giant, Parsons, which was in Qatar and Bahrain, among others. So absolutely global. So founding country manager in Infinity Consulting, an Australian executive search firm, And his last job was as president at Anant Raj Builders, which is a $6 billion company. So he's currently founder of Youth to Corporate, advisor to scaling at Elsina, the Electronic Industry Association. I think I managed time. So if you want to say something more about you guys, you can do that. Because I think I'm before time. So Shadi will train me well. So we are talking about T20 means you have to do everything within T20. So I think we can utilize this time for you guys to speak and interact with people. So who would like to start first? You are on the chair.
They should start.
Okay. All to you guys and how do you want to learn from their experience? So over to you. So after presentation, है ना? So presentation से start करते हैं. तभी ये पूरा questions आ जाएगा. ठीक है? So we'll take yeah, exactly. So we'll add 10 minutes to question answer session. So how the format would be that they will speak each one of them and reserve your questions. So once done, then we will spend 20 to 30 minutes for the questions. Is that okay? Fantastic. Sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure being here and having such a nice audience, a lot of seniors. I don't think I'll be able to teach anything, but obviously I think question and answers, I will learn a lot from all of you also. Focus of my talk today will be on communication. You see the heading given as attention deficit and mojo hunting. So how many people are aware what mojo is? Can we raise hands? Okay, fine. So how communication, mojo is a very broad term. It means different thing to every one of us. All right. So I will try to connect it with communication. How through your communication you can achieve your goal. And ultimately it happens that way. So we always say that some guys are very good speaker. Some guys are, and it's not always that a good speaker is always a good communicator. So that is what I would try to differentiate here. So, simple question to all of you first. Who are the first timers here who came into this room for the first time? Never been to this room earlier on? All right, great. Now tell me, when you entered this room, what did you feel? What did this room communicate to you?
Serious business.
Sir?
Serious business.
Wonderful. Anyone else?
Some discussions.
Some discussions.
Yeah.
Great. If they were already happening, or you felt that aura of this room said that yes, there are going to be some good discussions happening here. Great. Okay, great. Now, then I think it's about 40% of us, 30% of us who have not been here in this room. The rest of us, about 70% who have been in this room earlier on. So I would like to ask a couple of you that what difference did you find when you were here last time? Probably some of us were here last week also. I was here last month. So what did you feel different when you came into the room this time? Yes, sir.
I respond to one of our friends walked in, and somebody walked in, he said, I think we are too early because the hall was empty there.
Oh,
so I said probably we are too late.
Oh,
so let's walk in. So that's the one basic difference.
Sir.
That one we say 5:30.
Okay.
That means 5:30 is 5:30.
Yes.
That we are time conscious.
Wonderful. We are time conscious. That is one thing. Okay. Anybody who found something new, different this time? Broadcast. All right. This is great. Okay. Now, I'll do a small exercise with all of you. Okay. Just sit right in your chairs. Close your eyes. The way you're sitting, just close your eyes. All of you, please. Ladies, please close your eyes. And just take a deep breath and try to relax. It's not going to take very long. Yeah. Just relax. Keep your eyes closed and just try to sense and feel what the person sitting on to your left is communicating to you. Just have that feeling. Is he or she trying to communicate something to you? Once you got that answer, then shift your attention to the person sitting on to your right. You have no one. This chair will communicate to you something. Focus. What does that person communicate to you? All right, you can open your eyes now. Did you all feel something? Anybody
Shunya on the left. Shunya on the left.
Shunya on the left.
And right, of course, that we are going to have another great event today. That was the communication.
That is what Rajesh communicated to you. After sir?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Blank. All right. Great. Ma'am, after on to your left.
I think it means that I know him. That's it.
All right. Anybody from this side? Yeah.
I would say because you asked us to relax, so everybody was relaxed.
Just relax. So this is what the actual, this is the real thing. When we're so caught up with our day-to-day activity, with the internal communication which goes inside us, we don't realize anything. We don't feel anything. There's so many things on our mind. At the same time, what happens is, you cannot not communicate. We are communicating every moment. Even during our sleep, we are communicating. When we are walking, we are communicating. When we are sitting, we are communicating. When we are talking, of course, we are communicating. So that is the importance of communication in our life. We may realize it, we may not realize it. And most of the times, we do not realize it. All right? So this is where we start that we cannot not communicate. So another part of my subject was attention deficit. So what is that? What causes the attention deficit in us? Why are we so caught up with things?
Multi-activity.
Multiple activity. What else? But what do we want at the end of the day?
Relaxation.
Okay. All of us aspire to do this. I just told you guys to take one deep breath, and half of us were ready to go to sleep. And in that shunya what Sumit said. So we all, this is the situation which we want. All of us want to be in. But where are we? What do we do? How do we feel? Now tell me, answer these questions. I'll put them right here. What do you do when you're idle? Just doing nothing. What do you do?
Mind is very occupied.
Mind is preoccupied.
Even if you are relaxed, still your mind is preoccupied.
Okay. These questions basically concern this.
Yeah.
This device. These all questions are aimed at this device. Only this device. Okay. So you can see and compare your own behavior. Daily behavior, every moment behavior, every minute behavior. You're idle, you head for your phone. Where is it? Nahi milta hai, then there's panic all around. Feeling anxious. Let me have a look at my phone. Who sent me what message? What is happening now? All right? Wake up in the morning. What happens? You not open your eyes. You're just fumbling for your phone. Isn't it? All of us are doing that. Can't fall asleep. रात को नींद नहीं आ रही है. अरे फोन उठाओ यार. देखो किसने WhatsApp भेजा. किसी को भेजो. किसी ने वीडियो भेजा होगा. Something like that. So we are all caught up with all those things. That is where we are distracted from ourselves. We are distracted from our communication. This is the state we are. And I am also not a very good communicator. I can feel some people yawning and some people are trying to relax, whatever it is. So this is what we are, aren't we? When we are now, some people who work in the corporate sector or who are working in the corporates now, we are most of the times like this. And this state carries on for about 12 to 16 hours a day. And we say that we are comfortable and multitasking. Aren't we? And how many people feel that multitasking is a good thing? No one? It's a pleasure to see this young lady nodding her head like this, that no, it is not good. All right. But almost inefficient. It's inefficient. It makes the person inefficient. We all realize. I think it's a good thing to see as almost 30 of us in this who feel that multitasking is not good for us. You have the right to your opinion, ma'am.
No, I just say that my DNA will be lost if I say yes. But I
this is another thing which happens. How many people, I think, therefore yesterday I was in a seminar and that is where this point came up. Maximum deaths in India happen because of road accidents. This is our behavior on the road. I've cut up your slide, which are even more horrifying than this. All right. And this is a distracted state, what we call attention deficit. This child is looking somewhere else. His attention is not in the class. It's not attentive because he's thinking something. And most of us, when we are on phone, we don't realize. A few years back, I was taking, when I was in the regular job, we took up a project for women's safety awareness. So I was spearheading that project, and I went almost to all the major cities of the country where our company employees were, and covered almost 5,000 women employees on that. Basic thing. I'll be coming to that. How do we get information? And how do we manage that? That is the communication model which I want to discuss with you here. Very soon. So this is our distracted state. What it is. So here I come to the NLP model of communication. Since I'm a NLP master practitioner and trainer, I thought I must give you a flavor of NLP, what NLP can do for you and how NLP does. So what does the slide show us? What is NLP? Neuro-linguistic programming. Yeah. Okay, now where do we get the information from? And how do we get it? We get information from our environment around, people around, everything other than us, whatever is outside us is all environment. And what gives the information? How do we receive that information? What is the method of receiving that information? Five senses. Some people say six senses also there.
Yes.
But mainly it's the five senses. Seven senses.
Seven is an nonsense.
Okay. I'll add that one to my list. All right. Okay. So seven senses I would say we have, but we receive information through five senses. What we use. Now come to today's general. I'll deliberate over these things in a moment. I still have some time, I think. So we receive information, but what younger generation does today, even I also do it, most of us also do it. We put those headphones in our ears and focus our eyes on the phone. We are punching keys, talking to somebody and messaging somebody and doing something else. Two major senses which connect us to the world are blocked. All right, that was my advice to those girls. Please do not block these senses. Your sense of hearing, your sense of vision is blocked. You are oblivious to the entire world. You can't make out what is happening now. Obviously, you are vulnerable. Obviously, you will fall prey to somebody who's aiming wrong or who's thinking something wrong. All right. So we receive information from our senses, and we can't make any sense of it. All right. So its information goes into our brain and it goes into our unconscious brain. It's processed there. Our conscious brain, what I'm talking to you about now is, and all of us were thinking, seeing, and whatever is happening around us, our conscious brain can process only 7 plus minus 2 pieces of information, bits of information at a time, at any one moment. But this unconscious mind can process 20 billion bits of information at one time. All right, that is the capacity of your unconscious mind. And then what happens? Now I'm communicating to something. That something is lying here in my head, in my unconscious mind. Whatever I'm communicating to you is being filtered. You say, he's talking in very general terms. So our mind puts into a generalization filter. It generalizes information, compares what matches where. Once it matches somewhere, it becomes a general information. Like these are two windows, windows are windows. But that window is bigger, this is smaller, but window is a window. So that is how we generalize things. That is, we distort certain things. I would not be able to give you all in the purest form. I'll have to put some distortion into it to make, so that it makes sense to you, or it makes sense to me also. Where we both can traverse. Then is we delete certain things. Whatever I think, you feel, you delete something before you communicate it to the other person. Then other filters are various programs. We have some values, we have some issues. So then let's say we shout about our values, beliefs, and all those things. They're all filters. They filter the information to us, and then we slowly, it translates into our behavior. Once it's gone through all the filters, whatever we project to the world is our behavior, ultimately what we come up with. But this is how communication model works. What I'm talking to you is, words are only 7% of our behavior. It's been proven by various researchers. It's a fact of life. 38% of it is how I'm talking. What voice tone I'm communicating. Rest 55% is what my whole body communicates. My gestures, my facial expressions, my body movements. That is the whole communication model, how we communicate. But we pay least attention. We always worry about the words, what words I'm going to speak. We never take care of the tone. You say same word in different tones. All right, let's say you go to say I love you to someone. Punjabi says I love you. All right, somebody says I love you. See the difference in the same words. Okay, and then how your body feels about it. So meaning of communication finally comes to is ultimately the response you get. It's not what you communicate and the other person has said, he's not understood it. No. You have not communicated in that manner where the person can understand what you mean to communicate. Obviously, he will respond the way he thinks. Whatever you said, the way you have communicated, the way the person he or she translated, that is what the person will respond to his or her best judgment. So that is why I brought this picture of orchestra. Now, what is the response he is getting? What is he communicating through his gestures? He doesn't speak to it. He just is moving his hands and his body, and his all musicians, they understand what he's trying to communicate. Now, what does this show to you? I'm apology, I have to pick up a couple of pictures like this. What does this communicate to you? Joy, celebration, jubilation, total, town world, what we call this. This again is the same. These are pictures of commissioning when people, youngsters, after having gone through rigorous training, all right, total ragda jisko kehte hain, and they finally they're commissioned, they put their pips on, and this is the time, I've not put the picture with, they send their caps flying. All right, so this is, and final, Moja hi Moja. Moja hi Moja is, I've just brought the mojo to Moja hi. Better understand. Mojo is when we communicate something or do something and we feel the ultimate sense of satisfaction, sense of delight, sense of peace, happiness. That is mojo. Thank you so much.
We take further 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think perfect 20 minutes. Thank you
18
so much.
minutes is wonderful.
That means your direction is perfect. People are following. So we do good work under pressure.
Last time they told me there is 18 minutes and first bell bajegi, so I was just waiting if nobody is trying to bell.
Oh, you should time it. Sanju, you're taking the next one? Sure. Okay. All right, let me keep a watch on the clock first. That's 6:10. Yes, 20 minutes is what I have in hand. Thank you so much, the Forum of ICCI, for providing me this opportunity. I'm elated, I'm delighted, and it's a beautiful day. So I welcome you all for these quick 20 minutes. And the topic, I'll just let you know. Take me as the director, all right? I am going to be a director of a story for coming 20 minutes. What kind of a story? What theme? Theme is personal branding, as we got in our invites. When did it start? It started somewhere in the year 2004 under the mentorship of my mentor, who is present here, Professor S.C. Kapoor. This was the time when we were preparing for our pre-placement talks, and we were supposed to get something videographed telling, "Aap kya ho? Why should a company hire you?" So I went up to him. I said, "Sir, kya bolna hai? What is it that is going to make me different?" He said, "Give some tagline or give some punchline, but only towards the end." I kept contemplating, came up with one line. I remember it very clearly even today. I have the recording, not here, but yes, otherwise for my records. And I said, whatever, and I want to be a brand one day, like Bill Gates. I know I was too full of myself perhaps, or I was too ambitious. That is when I said it. That was 2004. It is 2017. I understand that no, that brand has not been built. But is it that I should take it as, my failure or something? No. I kept contemplating all these years as to why is this brand not still being made? Or is it that it is under making? There was one gap always I could figure out. Bill Gates had a company. Bill Gates had some product. I never had a company. I never had a product. Does that mean I'm going somewhere wrong? I still contemplated. And I was lucky enough to get associated with people like you and other forums. So I got to understand one thing, which was pretty much there in the history somewhere in 1937 also by Napoleon Hill in his book, Think and Grow Rich, wherein he talked about the term personal branding. So what is personal branding and is it different than branding? This was one question in my mind. So I said branding is about ये चीज है, ये उस चीज की value attributions है, and this is where it should strike the target group. Fine. But what about personal branding? Then I came up with one understanding after reading many articles and after going through the interactions with people. I said, all of us sitting here, believe me you, all of us sitting here are a package, aren't we? We all are package. We have our personality, don't we? Some internal traits, some external traits. We package ourselves. Do we? किस तरीके से हम ड्रेसअप होते हैं किस ओकेजन के लिए, हाँ, कैसा हम फेशियल एक्सप्रेशन बनाते हैं किस ओकेजन के लिए, what kind of words do we choose for what kind of an occasion or a situation? Is it not all packaging? That this precisely is packaging. So I thought, let me dwell into this topic furthermore because I am associated with the education sector and students day in and day out come up to me and ask, "Ma'am, अगर हमसे पूछा जाए, introduce yourself," which is the trickiest question perhaps, क्या बोलना है? So one solution is, I'm honest, I'm sincere, I'm hardworking, blah 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 blah. Those 20 pointers. But will that not make all of us a clone? I also am the same 20 things. You also are the same 20 things. Perhaps we are changing the order. But then, how is the company getting to know? Yes, this is the product for me. Right? Having built this aura, having given you the first cut, let me try to raise a few questions and let me try to answer those questions. So after Napoleon Hill, in the year 1997, there was an article by Tom Peters, which again mentioned the same thing, and this was precisely where the wave took. It really took off well. Okay. I take the liberty here to tell you that let's understand the importance of personal branding to meet yourself. Are you ready to meet ourselves? You want to meet yourself? Yes? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Right. There are two sets and there is some overlapping. This overlapping is is that overlap between what people think you are and what you think you are. So it is precisely that area wherein your views about yourself and the others' views about you, they match. And it becomes all the more imperative for each one of us to self-introspect and figure out, with the feedback of course, so it has to be two-way, self-introspect as to who I am, what are my values, plus what people think of me. You need to have a match of these two in case if you really want to make yourself valuable to others. Now just imagine Voltas or Electrolux coming up with an AC which can be fitted here. How many of us are going to purchase that for rupees 20? Fit here, Aadha ton ka AC. Not valuable for us, right? By no means it is valuable for us. But Voltas thought कि वो cooling देगा, but we thought आधे टन का बोझा कौन सर पे उठाएगा? So there was no match between what I thought or what Voltas thought as the value and what the people thought can be valuable. So I hope that environment is getting clear, and now I take you to something as the questions. The questions I'm going to raise are: what is personal branding? Why is it important? For whom is personal branding? When should one start with the process? And the tools that one can use to build this personal brand. I want to check out, do we have some person with these traits in here, right here? Someone who is straightforward, loud, gregarious, skeptical, prone to wonder words, meticulous, religious, stiffingly possessive, sincere, brash, hyper animated. Do we have this kind of a person here having all these qualities?
Apart from religious?
No, all these qualities.
I can't believe in religion.
Okay. So, is that you? Either of you? No? Let me add.
I'm just bad.
Yeah, just brash. All right. Okay. So, you have one quality of the person I'm going to talk about. All right. And if I say this is the same person who is a star, who is a star son, who is a star father, who is a star spouse, who is a beef-eating Hindu, who is sincere, and this is Rishi Kapoor I'm talking about. I just happened to read his book Khullam Khulla, wherein I got all this information, and I was amazed to understand and learn that a person who comes up with, such ease on the screen has got all these qualities off screen, and that's his personal branding. Now that is where he has strike a balance. वो नीतू कपूर को भी समझा चुके हैं और उनके फ्रेंड्स को भी समझा चुके हैं. Look, boss, this is the way I am. You want to deal with me? You'll have to you'll have to convincingly live with me like this. And so is with Ridhima, so is with Ranveer. So this is where personal branding comes into picture. I'm still the director of the same picture, 2004, saying I want to build a brand of myself. I came up with these answers to the question. Since I don't have a product, since I don't have a company, what do? I must brand myself. Each one of us sitting here should brand himself and herself in a way that it supports the saying, say what you want to say, but speak the way other understands. Say what you want to say, but speak the way the other understands and make value out of it. So there are many examples of celebrities. As soon as I say angry young man and say, huh? So what do you say? Who is it? Amitabh Bachchan, right? So, these are certain traits. You call it, certain kind of style factors. Rajkumar with the white shoe. Okay. But is it only for celebrities? Are we here only to waste our time to understand about celebrities who have already made a plethora of money? No. Believe me, we all are here to make our own brand. And how? We all have been doing it, but perhaps we don't realize it. What does brand brings to you? लक्ष्य बोला तो क्या दिमाग में आया? Toughness आई क्या दिमाग में? नहीं आई ना? Beauty आई, right? So brand brings in familiarity. Some familiarity, whether you want to get associated with those lines or not, but does it bring some familiarity to you? Yes. Because of those similarity factors, it becomes easy for the other person, that is the corporate or your vendor, or the person who wants to get associated with you to take a decision that should I get associated with this person or not. our brand values, do they match or not? When I say our, I mean the personal brand. I'm not talking about the organizational brand. Because for that, we have marketing team to do all the beautiful work. But for us, what happens? We say, "Baad mein dekh lenge apne aap ko." But no, it is you who has to be handled first, and then later things can be handled. So what do we all do? क्या करते हैं अपना brand बनाने के लिए? Do we, join the networks? I think yes. Don't we? So do we talk? कहाँ पे कितना बोलना है?
I love you for that.
Okay. So do we have some associations? होती है ना associations. WhatsApp का ये group है, Facebook पे ये group है, and the club that I'm getting associated with. Do you write blogs, WordPress.com and whatnot? So blogs, that is how we are building our brands. We choose the words. Our family. Our family. हम अपनी family को अपने बच्चे को what do we say? We teach them some values, no? Why? क्यों हम उसको अपने से बड़ा नहीं होने देते? We still teach them some values because these are the branding factors we want हमारे खानदान में flow करे, right? Whatever kind, whatever खानदान, but खानदान में flow करे. Are we all together? Yes. Thank you. Then your personal values, very important, very, very important. Because what happens is, in today's time, in the millennial generation, these personal values have really become too individual. No, previously we used to say, ये मेरी family value है, आज मेरी हर चीज की individual value है, and 5 individuals or 4 individuals in one family with different kind of values, it is very difficult to build that net. कई बार तो ऐसा होता है रात को टेबल पे इकट्ठे बैठ के खाना भी नहीं खाते, 2-2 दिन बीत जाते हैं, एक दूसरे से शायद कोई परिवार के ग्रुप पे गुड मॉर्निंग गुड नाइट हो जाता है, and then what? But is it the kind of brand I want to build for my family that I am not available for my family? No, perhaps not. So we need to figure out in all these dimensions about what kind of a brand are we building for ourselves. For you, you are responsible. Nobody else is responsible. And please do not try to copy anyone, because you are you and the other person is the other person. Let it be. We have other things that we do. We have our professional values. 5:30 will mean 5:30, sir. That's what you said, right? And 20 minutes will mean 20 minutes for me. Then the various blogs, vision. Yes. Do we have vision for ourselves? आज से 5 साल पहले हम कहते 20 साल, 5 साल. अभी perhaps we are chalking out our day. Every day we are chalking it out. This is the vision for me. I'm multitasking. We were talking about, no? So multitasking, yes, optimum multitasking perhaps can bring efficiency. Maximum multitasking will only bring inefficiency, right? So are these not certain things through which we are building our brand? Think about it. Come on, we all are doing it, aren't we? The kind of books that we read, the kind of talks that we deliver. And here is what I try to answer the first question. So personal branding is self-packaging. We all package ourselves. It is self-packaging of values and traits that exist within oneself. The beauty of personal branding is you don't have to look outside. You have to look within you as to what do you stand for, right? So again, a question should come in your mind. When should it start? I'll answer that question. Just hold on to that thought. It is a dynamic process. Why is it a dynamic process? Because the world is changing and prakriti ka niyam hi badlav hai. So you have to be fluid in your personal branding. When in Rome, be like Romans, but at the same time, do not change or compromise your integral values. So please take care of what are your integral values. They should not keep changing so fluidly. Otherwise, you will never be a brand. You will only be one common man amongst so many. What tools do we use? We use our business card, we use our CV, we also introduce ourselves. अभी हमने किया जैसे अपने profiles में, that's what precisely we have done. So what we thought is important for you to know about us, we said that. Similarly, our business cards. If you look at your own business cards and we amalgamate all these business cards here, each one will be talking in a different direction, but integral values remaining the same. Your name, your email ID, your telephone number, and your office address or something. The rest of it may change. The kind of task or the kind of job or business you are into. You may choose, like the photographer of the day has used a brilliant font in his business card. I might not choose that business card because my business is a little serious business. So this is how we brand ourselves. Are we all together? Are we? Yes. Thank you so much. So why should you know yourself? इतना time लगा दिया, ये नहीं पता मुझे अपने को क्यों पता करना है? क्यों हम किसी अजनबी के साथ जीना चाहते हैं? We must not live with a stranger all through our life. We must know as to who I am, what kind of a person can I be of any benefit to, what kind of people can be of any benefit to me, and that is why you should know yourself, and you must brand and you must package yourself. So answers to the questions that are raised. What is personal branding? It is a dynamic process of self-packaging. Why is it important? Because no point living with a stranger all through your life. For whom is personal branding? For each of us sitting here. When should one start with the process? As soon as possible. We actually started. बच्चा 2 महीने 3 महीने का होता है and we start that process. No, don't go near that. No, don't cry a lot. धीरे बोलो. And don't we start doing that personal branding? But then later, the person, then he becomes a little mature and he starts understanding the nuances. He starts figuring out, this is my value which I should keep. Rest, I have to maybe give up, or maybe I don't like to follow it. That is okay. That is okay. Be true to yourself. That's important. And then tools that one can use, plethora, as we talked about, the blogs, the readings, the business card, the network, the LinkedIn profile, and whatnot. Do we all have these tools? Are we really doing justice to these tools? कितने लोग LinkedIn profile को वाकई में LinkedIn profile की तरह use करते हैं? Many of there are people who will keep posting anything and everything that comes. No, LinkedIn is not the brand that is going to speak for your vacations. Similarly, Facebook is not a brand perhaps which is going to take a poll or talk about your professional linkages. So let the brand you get associated with should be a brand which is gelling well with your brand. Yes. And so I say, as I said, 20 minutes. So thank you so much. I will not change myself till the time I'm not convinced for changing my integral values. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I have a request to all the speakers. Please forward your presentation to us so that we can upload it on the website.
They're very powerful. And thank you for finding the.
They have power and the point. We want their PowerPoint.
Rajiv is always perfect. Very nice.
Power corrupts and PowerPoint corrupts absolutely. That is also there.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's great to be here. I mean, somebody's already talked about half of my topic of personal branding, because that's what I teach my young kids all about. Is it? Okay. So what I'm going to talk about today is about my college corporate connections, my journey and my lessons. And this started in 2013-14 when I was the president of a company. And as a matter of fact, I see a lot of people present over here. We all started our career somewhere or the other. So with this august body present here, I'm going to ask these professionals to answer a few of my questions and give opinion, just opinion. Here is Mr. Ram Kumar. He's 23 years of age. His father is a presswala. He's got 4 brothers and sisters. He's the eldest in the family. He comes from a place called Sai Kalyan. I don't know where it is, but it's away towards Gujarala. And he helps his father during vacations. He got educated in 2013. BE Civil Engineering from RVE College, Bijnor. Have anybody heard about this college? No. He is got 51% marks, and he cannot communicate in English. And the best part is that he took initiative to learn a software called Primavera. Few from the construction companies would know what Primavera means. It's a planning tool software.
Do you think will he get a job?
Yeah.
What kind of job and what salary?
The tailor.
Huh?
Planning engineer.
He can learn up to one black hole. Planning engineer. But I was big more.
Detailer.
Great. Thank you. I have another lady called Hanifa Qureshi. Hanifa Qureshi is a daughter of a mason. She's got 3 brothers and sisters. She's the second in the generation. She's done her diploma from in nursing from R.K. Podar Institute in Savai Madhopur district, Rajasthan. She's not from the Ivy League, but she's got 60%. She's done diploma in nursing, as I told you. She cannot speak English as well. So, would she, the same questions, will she be able to get a job?
Yeah.
And what kind, and what salary?
Maybe 30, 40 years.
I can make her a sales executive. For
Perfect.
pharma products or hospital consumables.
So we all know that these people could be hired.
Skill.
Yes, Ram Kumar Meena started his work in Afcons as an engineer, trainee engineer with 20,000, 2030. Hanifa Qureshi started work in Hollister. Hollister is a medical device company as well as a perfect and a trainee with 18,000 Now why I want to show you this is because this is what I have I've learned. Today both of these are the prime bread earners. Can't speak English, but they are the prime bread earners. They've economically changed their family life. They've drastically and tremendously changed the way people think about them. 2. They are respected in their family, their community, and the village. People in their village, in their community, respect them. Probably they don't respect Hanifa because she's taken a nursing job. It's still a male chauvinistic society. I'm sorry to say that, but it's very difficult for her to come out of the Savai Madhopur Ajitgarh place and do this kind of work. What she has been able to do is she has been able to get another 100 students or another 100 people in their community or family or village to look upon and see them as a role model, which is what makes me do what I'm doing with my college connections. The third thing that it has helped is that it has changed the way their own living style. Now the family which was making Ram Kumar Meena, who was making 12,000 rupees family income, is going to make 32,000 rupees. So their economic conditions have changed. They probably get married better. Probably their what would I say? Probably their the kids in the other siblings will also like to emulate them. Probably they will have a say in the family business, which they could not have it earlier, and probably their children will have a better start in life. Not now, but at a later stage. So this is what I do. I help disadvantaged persons from disadvantaged areas get a job. And today, that is what I do. Now, this is because I have that passion to go back to the roots and find out why I was doing this. Every time a company hires one, it helps people like Hanifa and Ram Kumar Meena to move up the ladder. One. Two, it also helps them to take a better view of life and help others bring hope. Because if this is working for them, it may work for others also. So 100 of them watched that. This is what. In last 3 years, in Youth to Corporate, I have helped over 3,000 students get jobs like Ram and Hanifa in different companies. Across IBM, Hollister, Fortis, Ampex, Siemens, Capcons, Reliance, I could say because on Yum, Domino's, Youth, United Health Group, Fortune 6 companies to a local small and medium companies. These companies have finally found out that these kids from the local area or from the disadvantaged area are not so bad, because what most of us feel is that they will run away, they're not relocatable, they won't have an English communication skill, probably not. They found them from these people, from these disadvantaged areas, the disadvantaged backgrounds. These people are much more hardworking, much more loyal, and above that, the companies are finding it much more interesting when they are able to get these diversities in. They are able to reduce their allegiances, which they find in silos. And that is why these companies want to rehire. As a matter of fact, I think there may not be thousands or crores, but lakhs of such young people available who are hardworking, knowledgeable, and really want to work. And they have the same aspiration like I had, or probably you had, when I got my first job with Vector, thanks to Professor Sumit Chaudhary. He got that opportunity for me.
And no credit is being given to me. you all got it on your own.
And I would request everybody to applaud it for this.
That's with modesty.
I'm serious about it, because if it wasn't him, and that's one of the lessons that I have. That these people cannot get it for themselves. We have to get it for them. If he would have not been there, I would have not got that job. I would have never been able to get into it. It was his connection. So as a matter of fact, each one of us have to connect and give it out to the society and help these young people. Now with that, I do this under a program called Youth to Corporate. Our only purpose is get employable employed. Nothing more than that. It is to get job corporates find employable job seekers from disadvantaged environment. And where do I get them from? I get them from tier 3 towns. Ajitgarh. Has anybody known where Ajitgarh is? Correct. Very few people know about it. Bombay. Everybody knows about it. Chandigarh, everybody would talk about it. Pune. So like Sonia Kalan, does everybody know about where it is? No. So you can find great talents in tier 3 towns and rural areas. The only criteria is we focus on these talented but disadvantaged persons who have neither got exposure nor have access. We try to build in that. And the next thing that we do is we got this 3,000 jobs from engineering and construction companies Reliance to Siemens, manufacturing from Mitsui, Toyota to Sonaco, information technology from IBM vendors and Expedia to Snapdeal, retail from Future Group, Big Bazaar to Domino's, healthcare, Fortis, United Health Group, Daiichi and CK Birla Hospitals. These are few. These are not the total. The list would go on to about 125 corporates that we work with. This is what Runa had already told about me. I just wanted to let you know. Our first 3 projects were pure failure. We only hired 81 in Nevat, 96 in Jaunpur, and 67 in Bilaspur Rewari. By that status, it was a good number, but I was not able to justify it in terms of financial viability. I used to pay it out of my own pocket to do these 3 because it was a failure in the sense that it was not financially viable. Then I moved and I could afford this because I was the president of an enterprise limited at that point in time. And it worked well with me because I could shell out about 3 lakhs per event and then do this one. I moved completely out in 2014 and I joined this movement. And I realized unless I make this as a financially viable and sustainable venture, it will not work. It will just not work. Otherwise, we will be dependent on those or other things from every one of you or anybody around. Even a friend of mine, Dr. Basurai, Akhil Basurai, he offered me in one of my programs that I'll fund you for it. And I said, no, I'm sorry, I don't want it. I want to run my business. I want to sustain a business. So I want to know how this works. And I want to develop an operational model before I became a revenue model. So I have a thing. So coming back, I learned from my own mistakes. In the first 3, I made hardly, sorry. In the first 3, I made only 244 people were hired. In next 4, we hired over 1,800 people, 1,841 people to be total. We made offers to 3,000 people. We had 4,200 jobs. We had 4,200 jobs, lowest level, freshers, diploma, engineers. But we could only place 3,000 people. Those who joined were 1,800. And these are all 1,800 people. 1,851 or 41. I have the details with me. It went up till the sixth event, Rampur, where and in Jaipur we failed again because we joined in a joint venture with the company. And then this is a lesson for me that when you join in a joint venture, you need to align yourself with the other party. We could not. Our values were different from their values. Very striking difference. First value, they wanted publicity and money. I wanted hiring, and money. So, and that was where I made mistake, and I accept that as a failure, and we moved on. The next slide is completely blank. I kept it specifically blank because we had an operational model ready, but our revenue model was 0. So we did not make, as Rajiv Rana sir has always said, monetize. We failed. to monetize. So that's why I've kept this, that this is our next step. I want to fill up this slide with revenue. Incidentally, these events got TV and print media coverage from various places across the North India. And this is how my corporate college connections were. So failures were important for me because I wanted to do it. People wanted to fund me, I didn't want to fund because I wanted to monetize my own project. Because if I don't monetize my own business, I will not be successful in future. And I am still struggling. It's not that easy. It's very difficult. And as a matter of fact, in one of the forums, I say that I probably am trying my level best, but still I'm not able to make it. I dream big. I dream very big. I say, I want to transform lives like Ram and Hanifa. I want to affect I want to affect 10 lakh people in 10 years.
Can we clap for that, please?
And this is why we can do it at the lowest level. And as a matter of fact, I won't take much time. I would like, if you want to contribute in any form that you can, this is the way we want you to contribute. We're looking for professional colleges, institutes who can help us. We're looking at corporates and entities who want to give us work, jobs. We'll get students for them. We want you to become a member to the students, mentor for the students, and a cabin in an office, which Rajiv sir has always said, don't spend money on unnecessary stuff. So he is my mentor right now on the subject. The money part. The money part. And however you want to help. So I will end this up with few lines, poems जो मेरे को याद आती हैं कि मंजिलें बहुत मुश्किल हैं, रास्ता भी बहुत कठिन है. मंजिलें बहुत मुश्किल हैं, रास्ता भी बहुत कठिन है. बस साथ चाहिए है. काफिले और कारवां हम बनाते जाएंगे और रेतों पे हम पैरों के निशान छोड़ते जाएंगे.
Lovely free presentation, but I think it's more than that. We probably have witnessed something for our own lives. So I think thank you, Mr. Khan, thank you, Dr. Anju, and thank you, Rajesh. What a lovely conversation, and thank you for arranging it. I'm just overwhelmed. I'm probably speechless.
Thank you, Bachchan.
So अभी तो question answer का time है और हमारे पास 30 minutes है. And yeah.
What I am 20 minutes? Yes. Yes.
आपके 10 bonus points हैं जो मैंने आपको दिए हैं.
We need to have some ceremony for that.
Sorry?
We have some ceremony also for that.
How sweet. Okay, so we have a ceremony. All right. So okay, so you have a question.
Okay,
So will you introduce yourself first?
Yeah, I'm Kamesh, and I'm a writer editor. And I have a question each for Dr. Chawla and for Rajesh Irwan. For Dr. Chawla, I want to say that, I've read in a very famous book, you said that what you see yourself and what others see you, there must be a cohesion in that. But this great scientist said that what matters most is what you think of yourself and how you treat yourself, not how others see you and how others treat you. What do you have to say to that?
Right.
And secondly, you said that branding is familiarity, but doesn't familiarity breed content?
All right. Thank you so much for the question. Starting with the first question, wherein you said that should there be a cohesion? When I'm referring to your self-packaging to make value to someone else, yes, I still stick to my point that there should be a cohesion between what you want to say and how the other party who is valuable to you wants to perceive you. Because if there is no alignment, like Rajeshji also said that, the first, perhaps the venture was a failure because his values were something different and the other party's values were something different. But if it is for your own self-actualization, I would say, let you be what you are. That is answer to your first question from my side. I'll request you to repeat your second question. I'm sorry.
The second was, you said that brand is equal to familiarity. But there's also a famous saying that familiarity breeds contempt.
Well, see, the whole exercise of branding is to let you know what this particular thing or any product or you as a product stand for, isn't it? So you agree or you disagree? Then only I can proceed.
Identify your personality and improving.
Absolutely. See, because at the end
that's
of
called self-branding.
At the end of the day, we all are bundles of something. Our emotions, our values, and what is the harm in telling people about what you stand for if you want to make an impact or relation with them? Till that time, you don't want to make an impact on them. You don't want to build a relation with them. So let it be. You don't have to complicate there. That's what my stand is. Absolutely. And you
what you're saying is that you must have self-following.
Just a little addition to this, what Kanishk is saying is familiarity breeds contempt when? When I find that what I had expected from you, you do not prove my perception right, so therefore there is a contempt. Oh, I thought Anju is this, and today I find she is this, so I cannot get along. So that is where familiarity breeds contempt.
Brand has never a similar personality for everyone.
And personal branding is not required if you are not talking to the others. And then I have a question.
The second question is to Rajesh Devan. You talked about operational model and turning it into a revenue model. So can you just elaborate how what it is about actually?
Okay, operational model was basically, I stand because I cannot see you. Thank you for asking that question. Operational model was the cost model. What is the cost, what are the logistics and everything else. But the revenue model has to be the way you can run your revenues. I still haven't figured it out, to be very honest. So
is there any expert in this room who
and that's what I have a suggestion, but
that's
only for personal window only.
Yeah, that's how much consultant is trying, So that's been my failure. That's been.
Yeah,
I was open window, right?
No, I was talking to someone about that.
I see a example.
उसका फ्लेवर दे देता हूँ ताकि मेंबर बन जाए
Sir, Rajesh ji, sir, I wanted to ask you one thing. I want to share one thing with you. I'm from an advertising and branding media background, and I've come into self-defense for women, and it's a social cause.
What's your name, sir?
My name is Anurag Noldia. See, what is important for any CSR activity today as of now, because 2% is mandatory for any company to invest into CSR. There is a plethora of opportunities in the market. If we say our value, see what is value? We are not eating up that money. We should take help from the people who are helping us out, from the corporation. The government is, very proactive in terms of Startup India, Skill India, and see, I've opened a self-defense academy. I'm not an expert in self-defense. I've partnered with people who are good in self-defense. I'll be giving free self-defense trainings to women, all kind of combat trainings to women, imparting their mindset to fight against the adversity of life. But for the important part is that we need money to do all these things. So there has to be a business model where one side you're getting the money, other side you're investing that money.
Absolutely.
So I'll tell you what, example, I've done this free of cost for women and children, girls. We'll go to schools and colleges and societies. On the other hand, we've got gyms. We are making those gyms, viable product. I'm launching a tabloid. I'm bringing, the products also, online products, health and fitness products. So one way I'll be earning money. I'm getting into government partnerships. We are tying up with UP government, with transit government for funding our projects. So what I'm saying is, it is very important. If you want to do CSR today, NGO doesn't run as an NGO. It runs as a corporate. So money is the most prime thing for running any social activity.
But if you don't, I do agree with that. But asking money and then monetizing the business, that is very critical. I want to monetize the business rather than asking funds. I should have a monetizing system whereby I could be able to self-sustain myself rather than take the money, start up India, and run away with it. And I've seen that happening so many times.
A lot of NGOs are doing it.
I would say, I went to NSDC. They offered me, whatever. I said no. I went out. I went to an Innovate event, which is a Netherlands-based company, which is like Innovate. They were funding. I could not because I was not a company.
Huh? The FCRA would not.
No, it was in India, and they were organizing an event for the social thing. I participated. I became the third most coveted, but at the second last round because I was not a company, I was out. But I was recognized in that picture. I also have went to foundations who actually want to do genuine work rather than just doing. NSDC, don't want to say, does genuine work 20% and has got a lot of.
No, I think NSDC is much better than before it was there in Congress time.
Okay, I think we can get to the next question. Get into the discussions. Yeah.
I'm loving it. I would like to say I'm thrilled. Listening to you, Mr. Brand.
How?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're Mr. Brand. I come from a Society for Entrepreneurship Education. You are an entrepreneur.
Sir, please
You have
introduce
created,
yourself.
my name is Nagen Singh. I'm president of the Society for Entrepreneurship Education.
Thank you very much, sir.
I recall the days when I thought of doing the same thing. Today we have a model, we have our own setup for working on the plans of creating a lot of job seekers into job. Lovely to get us. I would love to network with you and see if I can help you with what you are doing.
Thank you, ICTI.
Rajesh, I got another friend of mine.
Sir.
Strangely, again, people and I were talking about exactly what you're talking about. So we would be very happy to get together with you.
Oh, lovely.
And find a way of making this happen. Not sure we can monetize it to the extent that you would like. But I'm sure we can help you get this to that 1 lakh mark.
10 lakh. 1 lakh per year. There's not a big deal.
1 lakh per year. Next 10 years. I said 1 lakh. 2 lakhs next year.
So,
and we have there are lots of people who are interested in this kind of thing, and you have a starting point for that. So great.
thank you, sir.
If you can introduce yourself for the benefit of people, just maybe around 2 minutes.
I run something called the Customer Value Foundation, and I must tell you that I worry about the use of the word value, and I don't mean it.
No, that's okay.
And I work around the world in a field that most of you may be talking about. It's called value creation. We want to create value for people like Rajesh. We want to create value for companies. We want to create value for customers, employees, for society. And we're going to have our first global conference on creating value in the UK in May of 2018. It's going to be a big event. Is coming. A whole bunch of famous people will be there. But we want people to start thinking about creating value. Branding is all about creating value. Communication, you do that because you want to create value. You're creating value for society and for those people. And I'm very sorry to take a minute more. In a very kind of a simplistic way, value is creating good. Creating something for the well-being of others. In the business sense, it's creating worth. What something is worth. That's what we're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
So, you have connects now.
So,
So, leverage those connects and
yes,
get
sir.
into the better food.
Yes, sir.
Donna, with your permission, Rajesh is also the associate director at
I know.
Wow.
Great.
I have a group of friends who do the same work. So I'd
So,
like you to connect with them. The vibrant group.
Lovely.
So many connects.
Please share your name.
Shivani.
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 Okay.
I met him last night related to a friend.
Oh, lovely.
The whole people doing the same work.
Lovely. Lovely. I would love to meet them.
Okay, I can have the next question. Or just some time.
Please
Thank
give your
you.
suggestions, sir.
The first thing is, of course, all three of you were fantastic. So I must compliment all three of you. And of course, Runa, I know she chairs in a wonderful manner. Now, particularly your presentation took me back to my college days. And there are two messages there which might be relevant. And both I learned, one from the head of the Department of Social Work, which was called Delhi School of Social Work. Of course, I was my senior from there, Professor Ranade, who during the orientation itself told us social work is not helping people. So we were stuck, fresh from college, entered MSW. Social work is not helping people. What is it? He says social work is helping people to help themselves. And then he came up, everybody in management today talks about 4 Ps, which I learned at FMS later. But social work had 4 Ps much before that. There's a person with a problem at a place, and we have to find a process to help that person. Those are the 4 Ps of professional social work. So what? And then FMS gave me the business sense. That gave me the social sense. That is where our dean again, Professor N.R. Chatterjee, taught us that India, we have built up a culture of Raghupati Raghav Rajaram, Pura Sankha, zero counts. We are very conscious of our rights, but we are not conscious of our duties. Hardly anybody talks about Article 51 of the Constitution of India. Please read that. It is about the duties that we have as citizens. Now that is where it comes in. If you have already placed 3,000 people, why aren't they contributing to this cause? You should make it a condition that anybody who gets placed through us, don't charge them anything till the time they are well off. They are there, and then they must contribute even a minimal sum of 100 rupees per month makes 1,200 rupees for the year. And so many of your events can be, they have to take a sense of responsibility. There is nothing which comes for free. No free lunches. Milton Friedman, 1976 Nobel laureate. There are no free lunches, sir. I don't believe in it. If you have to want to get something from me, you have to give something to me is my plain simple.
Excellent idea. Your views on personal branding vis-a-vis dealing with the egoistic one.
My views on personal branding were
Egoistic one.
right. Indeed, a beautiful question, and it would though give me an opportunity to delve into the Johari window and the 16 PS things, but owing to paucity of time, I would not get into it. But yes, if you can self-introspect, which is very difficult for someone who is egoistic, it is very difficult for an egoistic person to self-introspect and bring out this one value that I am egoistic. Only if he is lucky, he may get a mentor to sail him through it. Otherwise,
it's being taken different.
okay.
The more I think of personal branding, I'm also giving boost to my ego at the back of my mind how to deal with that.
All right. Sir, here perhaps the situations are going to be your best teacher. We all hit, try, we fail, we succeed. It is always advisable to learn from our failures. At the same time, let the success not get it onto the head. I may have made the right statement. Because what? How do you get to know that the decision is right or wrong? It is only the result that tells you. We have these stories of successful people, but we don't have these stories of people who failed. So
these success people, for people who is very egoistic.
What you saying is build your personal brand with humility and number.
that is very important. How do you balance that?
How do you balance?
That's what she said in the beginning. How do you balance?
Yeah.
Again, the presentations were marvelous. We had a bull hunting, we had a branding, and he dropping simultaneously.
What you mentioned that people who are listening, they pay attention to the words. Is that right?
Yeah.
In my opinion, they pay only 7% attention to the words. They pay 55% attention to their body language. And
That's what
people don't look at 55 and 30
they only look at 7%. I said they look 55% at body language.
So there is no, it is what I meant was the person who is communicating. Like what you are trying to tell me is 7% of your words. Like I'm talking to you, 7% of my words. This is my tone of voice and my words. What you are looking at is, or everybody else is looking at, is that my body language. Absolutely. What are my expressions? What my eyes are saying?
Attention only to words.
No. Audience is paying attention to my body language first.
So I have a point. Audience is very smart. They listen what they want to listen. That's still all theory, because author has to write something. Audience, what he wants to listen, what he wants to see.
But I say, I don't know, knowing or unknowingly, the anchor has placed the sequence of the speaker so beautifully. It flowed from the communication, attention deficit, came to branding, and ultimately he made a product. So it was a very, I think congratulations to you.
Exactly. So the concept of T20 is that we give opportunity to all our members to speak on a topic of their own choice. And therefore it is more like a mail of ideas.
Personal
branding, of course. And hence the personal branding of that. And incidentally, only members can speak at T20 class.
But everybody is welcome to the audience. They won't get the stage.
The trustees took a back seat, and we decided that now the members would also chair the program.
In fact, Una is one of our senior most members. I think we started in July, but there is
She took a gamble on us in paid.
And you should tell the topic as well, because I think people will go away by saying, oh, she's an event person. And my actual story which I was talking about, how to do network and create network. So I guess all of us are here for networking, also create a network out of it. So and that's what I mean.
And I think you just said that it happened. She was the first speaker of T20 for ICT, right?
I guess we have 10 more minutes as a bonus. So we can go for a few questions if you have.
5, because after that we have the national anthem and mementos.
So 1 or 2 questions maybe.
Sir, about you, sir, you have come from a job of the president.
Yes, sir.
President.
So family must be attuned to some standard of living.
True.
Now, are you not giving something wrong signals to your family?
So I wouldn't say that at all. Yes and no. I guess what he's asking is that which one of them you are doing. I'll tell you something. My wife is an IIM Calcutta and an IIT Delhi. So she is now teaching, and she's doing even better than me. She's teaching in the morning 4 kids, EWS, economically weaker section of society, chemistry. And in the evening, she just takes 4-hour classes for chemistry for the really rich people. And we make our family ends meet. And that's where our money is coming from. I do some kind of international recruitment consulting here and there, training. Of course, I've learned it from Sumit Saab, and that's what it is. So we manage ourselves. So there's nothing that has changed for the family. We continue to do what we are doing. Well, of course, there have been some things that we have got back, and we are observing it.
So I'll take a 1 second thing that's what I do. Actually, I consult for second innings. So, when you actually start your life, there are loads of people who are thinking about how the youth will come forward, what will happen then. It's still not a solved problem. But when you, actually at age of 35, 40, 50, 60, you want to do something on your own, which is a passion. So, how to really create that environment, that platform which ICPI is also doing, that's why I'm resonating here, that how to really help them. And that's where probably you restart and your family helps you. Because family understands that how your passion, you will take it forward and make it big again. So let's allow each other that. Okay? So one more question.
I would like to add on that to this point. Now the dreams get released, realized only when you move out of the comfort zone. Okay, the salary is the most comfort zone for each and every individual. But you don't fulfill your dreams there. You fulfill dreams for others.
So when you move out, of course there is that uncomfortable area, but that's the way everyone has grown.
But I think
But it has to be planned, you know. Like what your plans
So
today.
the second thing that you talk about, I think more of it relates to the Maslow's pyramid, which is self-actualization.
And you restarted with
You
the
restart your infrastructure, your entire thought process, and you start thinking about now it's my time to give it back. So, and then that's when you.
More of a giving it back is more you want to work at your own pace, you know. Regularly,
And
you don't
your personal
work at
brand.
the pace. You work at your own pace. That's the, I think.
No, but Rakesh, I have a point, you know. You said that, I think just a minute back, you were saying that dreams, something on dreams. You know, the realization of dream depends on the level of trust you have on the other person. If you don't have trust on the other person, you can't move forward.
The level of trust you have on
yourself. You may have trust in yourself, but if you don't have trust in others, you won't be able to move forward.
Sorry, I'm sure there are two more questions, so Dhruv, you can, and then you this.
So my question is to Major Sir. Sir, so communication, you know, it's something which is very tricky. You know, there are verbal words, there are you know, verbal words, there are actions, obviously your body posture, that's the way you're presenting yourself. But I think, you know, I have debated on this earlier, and I'm still not convinced. Maybe you can give me a one-liner and convince me. It is the biggest fake of how you're sitting and delivering, and how the person is sitting and taking what you're delivering. You know, I can slouch on my chair, and I may be the most attentive person in the place. So how, as a speaker, would I know whether this person is actually listening to me? And he's not hearing, he's listening.
Yeah.
Hearing is a physical activity. Listening is something which I'm using my brain for. So how do I know as a speaker, you know, that he's listening to me?
As a speaker, you can't make out. It's audience who will make out what the speaker. Right.
Maybe
What the response is.
That's why we have the question and answer session.
All body language books, right, that you're sitting like this in your clothes. It's not that.
Yeah.
Right.
The guy may be most attentive and he is listening everything. He's taking no.
So I'm sorry, I think it has become very interesting, and we have to be a little out of time. So last question, and that is very short.
Okay, so my name is Rajiv. Who I am, but after 25 years of being in the corporate, I switched to photography, advisory, and media. So that's a complete change anyway. So question for Major Akal Singh. You spoke about the attention deficit. Yeah. My view is that you're fiddling with a mobile phone. It's a manifestation of the attention deficit, which is a further manifestation of an unquiet mind.
Yeah, it is. And I'll just give you one example. You see, we have attention deficit almost, it has always been there. There's something at all the time which is distracting us. We want to do something, our attention gets diverted to something different. Let's say I want to pick up this laptop. Sumit is talking there, my attention goes there, I start leave this laptop there and start doing something else. Yes. That's all attention deficit. It was just a small example which is most prevalent today in the world. That is what I picked up from there. Otherwise, there are, say, distractions galore.
So, in the old story,
attention deficit today is much more in the younger generation, is much more than what it used to. All this technology we say it's facilitating life, but somewhere it is debilitating life also.
I have a point here.
Yeah.
Do you agree that all creative people have attention deficit? No.
No. Some step. See, it is all situational.
I think you can create another event on that.
Everything is situational circumstantial.
Okay, I think that was the last question, and what a lovely audience, amazing speakers. So over to DB and Rajiv and Sumit and Rakesh. Yeah.
DB will be taking over.
Thank you very much. I think it is important to have a couple of minutes to recognize the speakers, and we really acknowledge and thank you from the bottom of the heart to be present here and do this honor for us of making a beautiful presentation. I really love it. Honestly speaking, three of you did a remarkable good job. Thank you. And kudos to all of you. And to all my participants, friends, for making it to in busy schedules, taking a little time out.
and be part of this forum. Really great things to happen. Thank you very much for making the lively discussion. A lot of questions, important questions, a lot of insights. We are not God. We are not human. We are also human beings. We may not be getting the right answers for everything, but I think over a period of time we can figure out our own answers. That would be really good. Thank you very much. In our own language. Now I request Sumit, help me.
I'm helping. I'm already helping. You can come.
Yeah, I'll do that. So, Major Avtar Singh, you started the discussion, the first presentation, so let me have our
Sir, just take slow motion में and
Branding is very wide.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure. You can have the boxes and we'll be making up. Manju, please. Very good. Rajesh.
Thank you.
Thank you. And
Big boss.
last but not the least, our friend and guide. Great.
Thank you.
Once again, applause for all the members, all the presenters and chairpersons.
So,
Thank you so much. Thank you.
इधर देखो इधर भी करो स्माइल भी करो
We are really honored.
वो सब रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है.
Thank you very much. And a small ritual, so then we normally have national anthem, and we request to all of you to be
Before that, don't forget 8th of July next.
Next program is on 8th of July, and that program is on our anniversary, first anniversary. We formed the ICPI on 8th of July.
That's
Started as a trust on it.
Yeah, so that will be our first celebration.
One, two,
Three.
पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उज्जल तरंगा तब शुभ नामे तब शुभ आशीष मांगे गाए सब जय राधा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे